What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Modern Ed video. My name is Trey, and today I'm going to teach you about the power rule of exponents. So, if you were to Google the power rule of exponents, you'd probably see something in Google Images or whatever that looks a little bit something like that. Okay, so, it's kind of like, oh, why is there this letter? Why is there this letter, and then there's some kind of other arrangement of letters over here. And it actually becomes a lot easier once you start to put in numbers and see what it actually means. So let's say I did 2 to the 3 squared. Well, my a is going to be 2, that's the place, and that's what we're going to call our base. Our first exponent inside the parentheses is 3, right here, and then our second one is outside there, meaning that this would be 2 to the 6th. That's the shortcut, and that's all fine and well, but like, why does that actually work the way it does? And well, if we actually expand this out, let's say we had 2 cubed times 2 cubed. Okay, that's 2 cubed squared. Let's actually further expand this out. So let's say that we have 2 times 2 times 2, and then we have 2 times 2 times 2. So we just wrote out all the 2's. Well, look how many 2's I have multiplied together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, meaning that this is 2 to the power of 6. So that's why the shortcut is what it is. So really all it is that if you expand everything out and you put it all back together, you end up with 2 to the power of 6. In this example, but really it's just those 2 exponents multiplied together. So let's take a look at 3 different sample problems and let's see how we do. All right, so let's say we have 4 to the power of negative 2 cubed. So let's remember our property. I'm going to take this base 4, I'm going to have this negative 2, and I'm going to multiply this outside exponent 3. So that is going to give me 4 to the negative 6th, and typically exponents are written positively. So what that means is that we have a negative exponent up here. In the numerator, I am going to rewrite this so it's going to be written like that with a positive exponent. Okay, so that's our easy problem. Let's take a look at a medium one. So here we have 2x to the negative 1, y to the negative 3 to the power of 4. So let's not forget another property of exponents here, which is that this 4, everything inside of here is being taken to the power of 4, okay? Because we have 2, so we'll have 2 to the power of 4, x to the negative 1 to the power of 4, and then y to the negative 3 to the negative 4. So let me actually split that up into each. Negative 1 times 4, then y to the negative 3 times 4. So again, it's the same exact property, but I'm applying it to 3 different terms. My 2, my x to the negative 1, and my y to the negative 3. So now all I have to do is simplify. I have 2 to the power of 4, that's going to give me 16. I'm going to have x negative 1 times 4, that's going to be negative 4. Y to the negative 3 times 4, that's going to be negative 12. So that's going to give me 16 all over x to the 4th, y to the 12th. And there you go, just like that. Now let's take a look at one that's a little bit more complicated. Whoa, that's a lot of writing, isn't it? So we have in the numerator x squared times x to the 5/3, y to the 0, and that entire quantity to the power of 1/3 times y to the power of 1. Then we have x squared, y to the negative 3 over 2, all of that to the power of 3 over 2. Ugh. That's a lot. But using the properties that we went over before, this actually isn't that bad. So let's take each and every part step by step. So my x squared here is going to remain x squared for now. Let's deal with the parentheses and let's deal with the exponents outside of it. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm writing my x squared here. And then I'm going to have x to the 5/3. So I know that just like in our last problem, this 1/3 is going to go to this term, and this 1/3 is going to go to this term. Okay, it's going to go to each and every term inside the parentheses. So this is going to be times x to the 5/3 times 1/3 times y to the power of 0 times 1/3 times y all over. And again, same thing here. Each and every term is going to be taken to the power of 3 over 2. So that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. So what that would look like is x squared times 3 over 2 times y negative 3 over 2 times 3 over 2. It still looks pretty messy, but luckily for us, we can still simplify this down using the properties that we already went over. And if you're still confused on how to simplify this or how to simplify that and what happened, take a look at our other videos that we have on our channel. We've already covered this before. Now, let's just simplify this down. So I still have x squared here times x. So I have 5 over 9. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Times y to the 0 times 1/3. That's 0 times y. All over x 2 times 3 over 2. That's going to simplify down to 3, just because this would cancel with that. Times y. I'm going to have negative 9 over 4. All right. Getting there, but we still got to simplify this further and further. So now I'm going to have x squared times x to the 5 over 9. So if I have x squared times x to the 5 over 9, I have the same base, x, but now I just need to add my exponents. So if you had your calculator, you could do this pretty easily, but if your teacher's requiring you to do it by hand, you should do it like this. We'll have x, and instead of squared, I would actually want to have 18 over 9, because that would be 2 written with 9 as a denominator, plus 5 over 9 times y to the 0, that's just 1, times y to the 1, that's just y. So leave that here. Here we go. All over x to the 3 times y to the negative 9 over 4. Okay, now let's keep simplifying this down. So if we have this term right here, 18 over 9 plus 5 over 9, that would end up being x to the power of 23 over 9 times y all over x cubed times y to the negative 9 over 4. And if you're still looking at this wondering what you should do, take a look at how we divide exponents, our quotient rule for exponents, and how we subtract them, okay? That'll help you out here. What you'll end up with is x to the power of 23 over 9 minus 3. And since I know that I'm going to be subtracting 3 and I'm doing this by hand, let me go ahead and rewrite this right now with a denominator of 9. So 3 over 1 would then just become 27 over 9. Then I would have times y to the 1 minus negative 9 over 4. There we go. Keep on going. I'm going to have x to the power of negative 4 over 9 times y to the 1 plus 9 over 4. And again, since I know I'm doing this by hand, me personally, I'm just going to change this right now to be 4 over 4. So now it's going to give me x to the negative 4/9, y to the 13 over 4, and making sure that we only have positive exponents, we're going to have y to the 13 over 4 all over x to the power of 4 over 9. Your final answer is y to the power of 13 over 4 divided by x to the 4 over 9. That was a lot, and there's a lot of places where you can make a mistake. But if you take it step by step, make sure that exponent is being distributed across every term inside the parentheses, as well as making sure that you are using your quotient and product properties of exponents correctly, and take it step by step, you'll get the right answer every single time. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time.